Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So it's time for the October Q&A. I know everybody's been waiting for it. Sorry it came out so late. Lots been going on, as everybody already knows, but I'm excited for it. Also, we're going to get back onto regular schedule tomorrow. We got a lot of things to cover. There's going to be a lot to do, a lot to go over. So be prepared for that tomorrow. Also, if you have any questions for next month's Q&A that you want me to answer, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below of this video, and I will be sure to get to that. If there are any questions that I may have by chance missed in this month's Q&A, please let me know, and I will be sure to put them into next month's Q&A. So I do apologize in advance if I missed any questions, and I will be sure to answer them next month for sure. So let's go ahead and get started with the Q&A with the YouTube questions, then the Discord questions. So Christopher Capers Jones asks, do you celebrate Halloween? If you do, how do you personally enjoy celebrating it? Oh, well, that's a good question. As of recent years, I haven't really celebrated it much other than if I ever have trick-or-treaters come by, maybe sometimes giving them candy, if there's any at all, because where I live, there's not many that come around. So, yeah, there's not much. Now, in terms of, like, whenever I would go out, yeah, I would, go to, like, a, party, and I would dress up, but within recent years, I haven't really done so. It's been maybe about, like, 6 years, I want to say, since I went out to, like, an actual Halloween party. It's been a while. But hopefully you all had a wonderful Halloween. I hope you did. I hope that each of you were safe, and I hope that you all enjoyed your Halloween. So Julian R asks, what's the difference between Shintani and Yamamuro animation on Dragon Ball? Well, when it came to Shintani, he seemed to be more of like the older nostalgic Dragon Ball is what it seemed like he was trying to go for with his art style. And then when you have Yamamuro had been with the Dragon Ball series like for a very long time because he was actually one of the character designers after the Perfect Cell saga. So when you look at Yamamuro, he'd been around for a long time in terms of Dragon Ball. He also worked on a lot of the Dragon Ball Z movies as well. I mean, he had a lot of them under his belt. But when it comes to Shintani, I think that Shintani had a lot of more nostalgia feel to his art. I feel like he really tried to throw back to the old days of the original Dragon Ball Z, like how it used to be before they started doing art digitally, of course, the way that you see it now. So I kind of feel like when it comes to the art, you really can see the difference. You can see a more rounded style with Yamamuro, as where Shintani seemed to kind of go more in this direction of trying to be nostalgic. So it's pretty interesting the differences between the two. Brandy Miller asks, have you played Honkai Impact 3? No, I haven't. I'd like to, but no, I actually have not. Just haven't had the time. But I've seen the game and I think it looks good. If you have, what is your favorite? Hirscher, like I said, if I played the game, I'd let you know. Mine, Hirscher of the Corruption. That sounds really cool, actually. Hazbin Hotel and Villainous. Have you watched any of them? Now, I've watched Hazbin Hotel. I haven't watched Villainous, but I did get around to watching Hazbin Hotel, and I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was quite funny, very interesting, and a really good concept. Now, I know that it's actually getting a series, so to see where it goes from there, hopefully it continues to do well, but for just the one animated short that they had of it, that they created, fantastic. I thought it was really, really good, and I can see why it's so popular. It was really well done, in my opinion. Adam Torres 6659 asks, how's the fam? Hey man, thank you for asking. I really do appreciate your concern, as well as everybody else's, during this time. It's really meant a lot to me. So how everybody's doing? We're trying to make it with everything. Today, as of the recording of this video, my father didn't really have the best day. He felt very bloated, hasn't felt too good. Still has a bit of a hard time getting around. And his body's kind of been aching a little bit. He's supposed to have a doctor's appointment on the 5th of November, so we'll see how that goes. But some days for him are better than others, and then some days he's not doing too well. So, it's a back and forth of one day he's doing good, and then it's the other where he's not doing so good. So it's pretty difficult, but we'll see what the doctor has to say. Hopefully the results are good, but we'll see. Hoping for the best, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep everybody updated on that. But yeah, thanks for asking, man. Also, who's the best waifu in Ruby, Neo or Raven? Oh, that's a tough one. I will say this: when it comes to Raven, I love her design. I just hate how terribly she was written. I mean, there was so much potential for her character. It's like Adam's character as well. Great design, terribly written though. And same thing with Raven. Great design, terribly written. Oh, it's just a shame because you have such a good character that has so much potential in terms of design and everything, and then story, and then you just drop it. But hey, you gotta at least admit, Raven is definitely something to still look at. You know what I mean? Good eye candy. You definitely have to admit that. Oh, and there goes No Nut November. But when it comes to Neo, I love Neo. I don't know. Neo definitely takes the top spot for me still. I still love the fight scene in Volume 2 with Neo. That is still superb. Thing of it is that I worry for her and how she's going to be written, despite the fact to me she is the best girl in Ruby. But, with the writers and how awful the series has gotten over time. Now they've already botched her up once. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see her be just completely nerfed and something stupid happened yet again, which it's sad to me because I just enjoy her character. I really do, but screw the writers. But yeah, Neo is definitely number one in my book. Good questions, man. Kane1134 asks, which symbiotic creature would you willingly bond with? Guyver or Venom? Oh, that's a good one. Now, while I do like Marvel, or at least what it used to be, not what it currently is, obviously, before Marvel went woke, I liked what it was. Venom was one of my favorite characters, actually. But I have to go with Guyver. Guyver is definitely my favorite of the two in terms of which one I would try to fuse with. I mean, alien armor, that is awesome. I love Guyver. And also, I noticed something. Guyver looks a lot like elemental hero Neos. And Neos came after Guyver. Did Yu-Gi-Oh! Make a reference to Guyver? Contact Fusion also? Real debatable question. But yeah, good question, man. Elizabeth McGaden asks, which would you say is darker, Partners in Time or Super Paper Mario? In terms of Mario games, between those two, I really like Partners in Time. Super Paper Mario, I mean, it wasn't bad, but my problem with that game, just in terms of it as a whole, was I didn't like how they switched from the turn-based strategy of what it used to be. I did not like that they changed that up, because I kind of liked it more with a turn-based strategy of, the original Paper Mario for the N64, and then Thousand Year Door, which Thousand Year Door I think is the best Paper Mario game ever made. But I'd probably say maybe Partners in Time. I'd probably go with that one over Super Paper Mario. Now, of course, Super Paper Mario had a tragic romance story between Count Bleck and what was her name? Tweak, I think her name was. I can't remember the butterfly's name, but yeah, I mean, it was a sad story. It was interesting. I liked it, but I think Partners in Time was better. With everything that was going on with the continuation of the Superstar Saga. Yeah, I thought it was a lot better personally. Would Weiss and Todoroki get along with each other? Yeah, probably. I mean, they're both cold. And I get it. But yeah, I think that volumes 1 through 3 Weiss, I think she'd get along well with Todoroki. When it comes to maybe volumes 5 through 7 Weiss, though, especially with how she drops in character. If Todoroki wasn't the same mindset as her, then she'd probably hate him. Because that's basically what the characters have become. If you're not in the same alignment with each other, then no, they don't like you anymore. You're the enemy at that point. That's how Volume 7 characters are basically at this point. What has happened to Ruby? Oh, that writing is so bad. Who do you think would win between the Mandalorian and Goblin Slayer? Oh man, I mean, Goblin Slayer, I think, would win. I mean, the Mandalorian, yeah, I mean, they're people. I mean, they're based off fighting, and the Mandalorian, he's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that series, but when it comes down to Goblin Slayer, man, I mean, he's so hardcore. I mean, the way he slays goblins, the way he fights, he's gonna win. I mean, no offense to the Mandalorian, but the Goblin Slayer, I think he's got it. If Jacques assalted Peach, How would Mario, Luigi, and Toadsworth feel? They'd beat him up. I mean, what's Jacques gonna do? I mean, just stand there and wag his finger at him and say, "No, don't attack me." Even Toadsworth is gonna beat him with a cane. I mean, they'd beat the crap out of him. I mean, it wouldn't be a contest. It really wouldn't. What would happen if Eggman got stuck in a warp pipe? What would happen? So what would happen? He would probably complain, trying to have his bots get him out. They probably wouldn't be able to get him out as like a gag, and then they'd have to like probably break off half the pipe, and then he'd have to walk around with a pipe stuck around him, and then Sonic would come and probably make fun of him. I have a feeling that would probably happen. Is Luigi a better sibling than Yang? Yang has a sibling? Oh man, this is news to me. I never knew this. Oh man, this is so news to me. No, but seriously, anybody's better than Yang as a sibling. I mean, look, I despise Sasuke with a passion, and everybody knows this by now. And if you don't, well, now you do. I think he's a better sibling than Yang. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. When I'm comparing a character that I absolutely despise with a passion, and I'm like, yeah, this character, even though they wanted to kill their own sibling, and I'm stating that they're better than Yang, you know it's bad. I mean, seriously, Yang is like probably the worst sibling I've ever seen. Like, Yang is just, oh god, Yang's horrible. What did you think of Death Battle Krona episode? Was it your preferred opponent, and did you agree or disagree? Well, when it comes to Krona and it comes to Venom, now while Venom does have a bit of an immunity to sound, which of course he had to build that up over time because that was his weakness. With Krona and the sound vibrations, yeah, makes sense that he would be able to overpower Venom as well as the strength to open up the moon. I mean, Krona I think is stronger than Venom, and I think it actually made sense that Krona would win that fight. While Venom is very powerful, yeah, Krona I think would actually have won, so I think it made sense. How did you react to Steve in Smash? I really wasn't surprised. Think of it as that a lot of people speculated that Minecraft would eventually have a character go into Smash Bros. So it wasn't really a shock to see Steve. I thought it was interesting to say the least. I'm not a Minecraft fan, but to those who do like Minecraft, hey, I mean, more power to you, right? I mean, that's pretty awesome for those who enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool though, at least. So Crash Bash asks, which series lore have it worse, Metal Gear or Ruby? Oh God, definitely Ruby. Metal Gear, I mean, yeah, there's a lot you have to keep up with when it comes to Metal Gear, 100%, to really understand the full story. But when it comes to Ruby, what is there to understand? At this point, the writers can make up whatever they want, and it's real. They retcon the retcons, the retcon, the retcons, and then, it's like you have Retcon Valley over here, as to where Metal Gear, like I said, you have to really, catch up with the games to understand a lot of it. I mean, while Metal Gear Survive is terrible, I think we can all agree to that. But, I mean, Ruby's just far worse. Far worse than what Metal Gear will ever be. And, I mean, Metal Gear, I think, is a good series in itself, in my opinion. Ruby had potential, and then it fell apart. But, hey, that's not surprising. So, good question, man. Donnie Pack asks, so this is for your next Q&A, top 5 favorite Team 4-star DBZ abridged jokes. Oh, man. That's a good one. Oh, man. Team 4-star, they did such a good job on Dragon Ball Z Bridge. I mean, it's just a shame that it's over with. But, oh, yeah. Like, there's so many good ones that I could choose from. Some of my favorites, like, one of them I really liked was when Vegeta caught on to Gohan, finding out that Gohan actually took the Dragon Ball when he goes, wait, that watch. That was no watch at all. That was a Dragon Ball locator. That means... And then Nappa just shows up as a ghost and he's like, he took the Dragon Ball. And then Vegeta just starts screaming. And I love when he flies out of the ocean and he's still screaming. Everybody can just hear it across the planet. I love where Gohan's like, Krillin, do you hear that? I feel that. And then you have Frieza and he's like, what the devil is that? And then Goku's in space. He's taking a break and he hears it. And the King Yima all the way up there. In the other world, he hears it. And he thinks it's his ex-wife. And then you have Trunks in the alternate time, like 20 years in the future. And he's like talking about how he's going to go back in time and save everyone. And then he's like, Daddy? that was way too good. I also enjoyed Lord Guru. He had so many good quotes. One of them I really liked was when Gohan went to get his potential unlocked by Lord Guru, and I love it when Gohan's just like, "So my friend Krillin told me that you could unlock my potential by touching me," and he's just like, "Do I look Catholic to you?" And Nail responds with, "Sir, I think he wants you to unleash his hidden potential." I just love that. Ah, it was so good. And Lord Guru responds with, "Fine. Since this is your first time, I will be gentle. Now I will reach down into you and grab your assets." And God's just like, "I need an adult. I am an adult." That's so good. Oh, that was great. I love that. Another one I really liked, which was Imperfect Cell. I mean, he was so good in my opinion. Like I loved Imperfect Cell, and like one of my favorite jokes he did was when he was fighting Piccolo, and he stabs into his arm with his tail. He goes, "Oh, this must be your first time because you are tight." I love that. Another one I really enjoyed was when Vegeta said that he was going to go to a level beyond Super Saiyan, and Tien responds with, "So what? Mega Saiyan? Ultra Saiyan? You're mocking me. Maximum Over Saiyan." And Vegeta gets mad. He's like, "Fuck off, Triclops!" And flies off. I always love that one. That was way too good. Like Vegeta has like some of the best moments, and I always love it whenever Tien, whenever they started making him like really go after Vegeta. That was always good. Oh, those are great. And then I also love Nappa. I mean, you can't really have it without Nappa because Nappa's way too good. One of them that I've always enjoyed, one of his best jokes in my opinion, was which you got to put them both together, where he goes, "Oh look, Vegeta, it's a Pokemon. I'm not a Pokemon. My name is Chaozu. It's a Chaozu, Vegeta. I'm gonna catch it." And then later on, when Chaozu blows himself up, I love it when Nappa's just like, "Ah, dang, and you self-destruct. I hate it when they do that." Referencing Voltorb and Electrode, and as a longtime Pokemon fan, I just love that joke. I mean, there's many I could have gone with, but these are some of my favorites of all time that I've just always enjoyed. Oh, it's so good. So good. So Andrew Key Russian asks, "Here's something for fun. You get your own show as a rom-com harem, and the girls of your choice, one per franchise, can have 8, 9, and 20 plus. If you want to go the two love Rue route, have fun." Okay, so this will be interesting. So one, I have to go with CC or C2. I've always loved her character, and Code Geass is one of my all-time favorite anime ever. I have to go with Android 21 from Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I gotta say, Toriyama knew what he was doing when he came back and he designed 21. Like he knew what he was doing there. And then of course, High School DxD. I gotta go with Zenobia because to me she is the best waifu in that series. I mean, there's tons of good waifus, but Zenobia takes the first place spot for me. And then my Kawakami from Musaiga no Phantom World or My Red Color's Phantom World. I love her and she's a good tsundere. Speaking of tsunderes, gotta go with Kurisu from Steins Gate because she is best girl in that series. I just gotta say best girl. I gotta go with Aki or Akiza from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds because to me she is the best girl in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! The whole entire franchise. And then I have to go with Erza from Fairy Tail because Erza, like, oh man, I love her to death. Like Erza is definitely one of my all-time favorite waifus ever. Then I gotta go with Mount Lady from Hero Academia because, my god, I love her character. I just do. She's fantastic, in my opinion, and always funny to watch. And then Esdeath from Akame ga Kill. I mean, as much of a yandere she is, in which I love yanderes, but god bless, I love Esdeath. I'd have to go with her. Pyra from, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I mean, dude, Pyra and Mithra, they were excellent in that game. That game, I love it to death. And then of course there's Palutena from Kid Icarus, the trolley goddess herself. I love her. I mean, she's fantastic. If Pokemon wasn't on this list, there'd be something wrong, and I definitely have to go with Cynthia because she is the best champion. I don't think anybody's better than her. Not just female champion, just champion in general. She's the best champion. And then, of course, no list to be complete without Mordred from Fate. Everybody knows I have to go with Mordred. Neo, obviously from Ruby, is going to be on that list.
I mean, what more can I really say about that? And I'm going to surprise everybody. My number one is always going to be Lucina, though, because Fire Emblem, I love that franchise. And Lucina, to me, is the best girl. I don't know. She's just always been number one waifu there. Good question, man. Nothing Nice asks, favorite horror villain? If you were a bad guy, what alignment would you pick? Lawful, neutral, or chaotic evil? So in terms of my favorite horror villain, it's Jason Voorhees. I've always liked Friday the 13th. Of course, later on, Friday the 13th movies just became so comical because I'm a fan of the original one. The new reboot one, could have been way better. But, like the older ones were pretty good until they started like becoming more comedic than anything else. In terms of what I would be if I was a villain, I would be, chaotic evil. I mean, I would just mess with everybody. I think I'd be that villain that would troll both sides and just be the one who would make all the problems just happen, realistically. It would just be kind of fun to do that. I don't know. That's just my personal take on what I would be if I was a villain. So, yeah, I'd be definitely chaotic evil. But yeah, good question, man. Coop was Coop all along. Ask if you could fix the rear view camera on a 2014 Dark GT, how would you do it? I'd probably send the car in. Personally, that's probably the best way to do it because, I'm not an expert in terms of fixing cameras on cars. So that's probably what I do. Just take it in to someone that can fix it, maybe. I mean, that's the best thing. And then Coop went on to state, addendum, my AC fan seems to have broken in two now. Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Sexy Neo asks, your favorite Hololive EN VTuber? Oh, now this is a good one. So, when it comes to the EN Hololive VTubers, there are plenty of good ones, and I really enjoy all of them. They're real fun to watch, and you want to talk about picking up your spirits if you're feeling down, definitely watch them. But it has to be Gargura. I mean, Gargura, she's very entertaining. She has a personality for it. I mean, like, she is fantastic. Not that the others don't have personalities. They do. They have good personalities. But Gargura is just the most entertaining, in my opinion. And whenever I'm feeling down, like, she just knows how to, lighten my mood, make me feel happier and has a more positive, uplifting tone. And I do enjoy that. Another one that I really do enjoy, though, would probably take second place is Ninome Inanis. I do like her as well. She does really well, and I really like it when she draws. Like, that's something I enjoy watching as well. But yeah, definitely a good question. Al Sheikh Afan Al Kwakwazi ask, when will you get your own Hololive girl? Thinking about it. At this point, why not? Just go ahead and I should just sit over there and make my own. Like, could you imagine a VTuber, and that would be me, doing that, having my own avatar of a waifu there. Oh man, that would be something. You know what? I might do it. That would be something. You can let me know what you think down below. Sexy Neo asks, if one of the Hololive girls got their own anime, who would you want it to be and why? Also, what type of anime would it be? Oh, now that's very interesting, but if I had to say, it would probably be Korone. I think Korone would make for a good slice of life comedy kind of anime if she were to get her own anime, and I think it would just be absolutely hilarious because Korone, she's good. I really enjoy her. She's always funny, and that's the thing. I feel like her and how her friends would go on adventures every day with their slice of life, kind of genre with it being comedy. I mean, she's gonna bring all of the shenanigans. I can just see it. But yeah, good question. James95 asks, just want to ask you, is it bad that I want my OC to be in any anime show, or is it just me? Sorry for this because it's been on my mind for a very long time. Hey man, no worries. No reason to be sorry for anything, dude. But no, my perspective of this is that it's fine. Yeah, I mean, if you want your character to be in an anime, yeah, sure. If you know anybody that would be willing to like make a series, if you wanted to write your own series or something, if you have the ability to draw, or if you hire somebody to draw for you, you could do that, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting your OC to be in a series. But I mean, hey, people do it all the time, right? People make their own OCs and their own series. So, dude, do what you want to do. Do what you enjoy, man. Good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, who's your favorite member of the Suicide Squad? If it ain't me, you're in big trouble, mate. Looks like I'm in trouble because Captain Boomerang, while I do like Captain Boomerang, is not my favorite. My favorite is actually Killer Frost. Killer Frost has been there since the 1987 through 1992 run of the Suicide Squad. But I'll give you props. Captain Boomerang is actually one of the longest existing members of the Suicide Squad, though. So there is that. Sexy Neo asks, I forgot, but who was it that ruined Raven's character? Oh, well, that's very easy. Who ruined Raven? I don't know, maybe a couple of fucking clowns? Because that's who I'd say ruined Raven's character. Damn shame. Damn shame. Johnny Q asks, which father do you think is worse, Jacques Cheny or Gendo from Evangelion? Jacques Cheny, because he's poorly written. He's not as well written as Gendo from Evangelion. And despite how bad he was, it's just, Jacques is just not a character I even care about. Like, I don't hate him, but I don't like him. I just don't care. Gendo, at least you get a feeling for him, whether it be a positive or negative one, of course, being negative. But still, Jacques doesn't make me feel anything, so I don't care. Captain Boomerang asks, congratulations, you won a free date, all expenses paid, with all your favorite waifus. Where would you go in the real world and one fictional world? Well, in the real world, I would definitely go to Japan, because I love Japan. I love the Japanese culture, always have personally. If there's a place I'd love to go, I would probably just love to specifically go to Tokyo, though. That's one area I've really always wanted to go to, specifically in Japan. But that's just me. Now, when it comes to an area where I'd want to go in a fictional world, I'd probably say Palutena's Temple, because it's literally like in the overworld, which in that world is basically like heaven. Paradise, basically. That's where I'd go. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, given the recent dramas on Rooster Teeth, can we assume that most internet personalities, no matter what content they do, are just fake? I mean, there are people that have their personalities, and then there are people that sometimes are legit. But I think you're going to mostly see people that have internet personalities so that they can, kind of, I guess, throw that out there for entertainment value, would probably be the best way to put it. Then again, some people, they are legit. Like, some people are actually themselves on camera that they would be in real life. And some people would never imagine that. But with Rooster Teeth, yeah, every single last one of them are fake. That's clearly obvious. Every single last one. But yeah, good questions, man. Link asks, October Q&A. Happy Halloween, Lord. Well, happy Halloween to you, even though it's late. But hey, man. Hope you had a good one. Hope everybody out there had a good Halloween. I got some questions today that hopefully aren't pushed to No Nut November. Well, I can change that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What custom goblin would you rather catch dead in for Halloween? A jack-o'-lantern, pirate, thug life glasses, a substitute doll for Pokemon, waifu, killer queen, or Groot? Okay, substitute doll for Pokemon or killer queen would be good. Groot would be pretty funny too. Thug life glasses. Probably the substitute doll from Pokemon, either that or Killer Queen. Those would be two good ones. Which waifu would you want to see wearing the sexiest Halloween outfit? The outfit can be official, fan art, and or specific too, such as Mordred as the sexy knight or Neo in a succubus outfit. Well, though, if I had to say, I gotta go with Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening. And what I'd like to see her in, it would either be like a very sexy Nico Mata costume or a sexy witch. Now that would be something. I would definitely love to see that. Now, of course, that's not official, but man, would I love to see that. Personal opinion there. What is your favorite movie featuring goblins? Favorite movie featuring goblins? Would Gremlins count? Even though they're not really goblins. I guess maybe that count. I don't know. Probably got to go with Gremlins, even though that's not goblins, but close enough. How well can goblins fit into The Witcher and Dark Souls? Actually, pretty well when you think about their worlds and what they're about. Yeah, no, I think that they would work really well, especially Witcher. Like, the world of The Witcher would work really well for goblins, I think. I think that'd be fantastic. If Doctor Strange were transported into dark fantasy manga anime, would he be isekai powerful or toned down to fit into the magic system? I think he'd be toned down considering that he has magic that can allow him to, go back into other dimensions. So he'd have to be toned down so that he couldn't just leave that dimension whenever he wanted. So I think that he would have to be toned down, personally. Otherwise, he'd just be able to cross back to his own dimension. Then he'd be like back home. There wouldn't be an adventure, or or any like character development for him in that world. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. All right, that's all I got. Happy hunting with life, waifus, and goblins. Drink award. Well, hey man, I appreciate it. Good questions, man. Mr. DJ Fly High asks, "What do you think of a Street Fighter Ruby crossover? Could it work?" I see everybody from Street Fighter kicking the crap out of Ruby characters. That's basically what I see. Unless like I don't know, there may be Raven or Cinder with the maiden powers. Maybe that's still like a stretch. But I mean, I guess it could still work though. But I feel like the Ruby characters really have to train. I mean, because maybe characters like Crow, Adam, Neo, maybe they'd be on par to do decently if you're not counting like the nerf versions of them. I think they would do well, but like if they're nerfed like they are from volumes 5 through like 7, then no, it's not going to go over too well. They're going to need to train really hard. But yeah, good question, man. Games asks, what are your thoughts for Ruby Volume 8? I hope everyone dies, including Team Ruby. I despise and want them to die. My thoughts for Volume 8 is I think it's going to be a disaster. I think it's going to be politics. I think, considering that the Grimm that won the art contest after Mayuki's art design got completely shafted, which was not fair. I think that, considering they picked the Grimm virus Grimm, yeah, it's gonna be, it's gonna be all pandemic related, and I'm gonna hate that. I feel like we're gonna get that. I feel like we're gonna get nothing but Antifa riots. I feel like we're gonna get that stupid crap as well. It's gonna be a bunch of shit being flown. That's what I think is gonna happen. It's just gonna be political. It's not gonna be fun or enjoyable. At least in my opinion. I could be wrong, but seeing the track record of Ruby within recent years, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be very good. But that's just my personal opinion. Good question, man. Metalord395 opening desk asks, now that you've talked about the worst anime girlfriends, what are your choices for the best anime girlfriends? Oh, now this is a good one. I'm going to go with 5 of them. Starting off the list will be Rinko Yamamoto from Ore Monogatari. I think that she's actually a very sweet character. She gets saved by Teiko whenever she's on a train because of a guy who's groping her. And, she really fell for him, despite the fact that Teiko himself, he was usually someone that, because of his size and his appearance, because he was kind of a bulky dude, he would intimidate others, not even on purpose. But she was somebody who was willing to, always be around him. She actually fell for him, and I think that it made for a good relationship, seeing how good of a character she was and loving him for who she was. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Another one is Taiga, because for one, I have a soft spot for tsunderes. Everybody knows this. And Toradora, I love that anime. That series is fantastic. And while Taiga may be the queen of tsunderes, have her problems, of course, because of what she went through with her father and whatnot. But like in the end, I mean, she has that sweet side like all tsunderes do. Whenever you get past the cold and distant nature, you see who they really are on the inside, and Taiga herself. You get to see that sweet side of her. I mean, absolutely adorable. Taiga, she's the tsundere queen for a reason, but gotta love her. Speaking of tsunderes, another one, which is Korisu, or Christina from Steins Gate. I mean, she's a genius, and I love this character. You want to talk about one of the best characters in Steins Gate, it's definitely Korisu. Her and Okabe's relationship, I love it, and think about it. Love that transcends time in different timelines, and they always found each other. I mean, that was like real love right there. I mean, Karisu's great. Another one, Coco Kaga from Golden Time. Now, I love her character. She came off as a character that people would probably want to avoid trying to date. She was one to get jealous also. That's another big thing about her. But in the end, she turned out to be a character that wanted to bring out the best in her significant other, which I think was absolutely fantastic. And, that's why Coco is really good as a character. That's why I think she makes second place for me. But number one will always be Nagisa from Clannad. Clannad is such an emotional story. And I have to say, Nagisa's character, she had it rough when she was a kid. Like, for example, when she was real young, she almost died, and then she had to repeat her senior year of high school twice. Not once, but twice. I mean, that would be rough. And if you have ever seen Clannad or the After Story, it's very emotional, and it gets me pretty much every single time. It's so depressing. But like Nagisa, she's selfless. She's so sweet as a character. I mean, she, in my opinion, is the best girlfriend in all of anime. But yeah, good question, man. Sexy Neo asks, which Helltaker waifu is your favorite? Oh, well, that's a very good question. So, which one's my favorite? Well, definitely got to go with Lucifer, the CEO of Hell. I mean, thing is that when it comes to Lucifer, though, got to get those pancakes ready. Definitely not going to let her kiss me and melt me. That's yeah, that ain't going to happen. Or turn my blood to vinegar. Yeah, I'm just going to get those pancakes ready. But yeah, good question, man. Nothing to ask. Got a few questions for this October Halloween Q&A. For now, it's 7 deadly questions. Scariest character or thing in anything you've seen. Oh, well, that is simple. It would be Koro from A Comic Got Kill. Now, you're probably thinking, but this thing's cute. It's adorable. Why would you ever be afraid of this little thing? Yeah, this little Imperial arms here. Yeah, you may think it's cute and cuddly. You may think it's adorable. Yeah, well, wait till it transforms, because then it has hit the gym, and it definitely did not skip, bulking up those arms right there. Yeah, you think that's bad? Oh, it gets worse. It gets way worse, because when it fully transforms, that thing just no, thank you. It's nightmare fuel. That thing eats people. That thing is terrifying. Nope. Absolute nightmare fuel. No, thank you. And it reminds me of something very terrifying also. The Pokemon Beware. No, I'm serious. You think this thing's not terrifying, but if it hugs you, it snaps your spine in half. And that's not even trying. This Pokemon is terrifying. I'm serious. Beware is Ninja Bear Jesus. That thing is terrifying. You don't mess with Ninja Bear Jesus. Nothing to ask. Evilest villain you've seen in anything ever, as in pure evil with no redeeming qualities, no honor or standards, no loved ones, or they have loved ones they abuse, not meant to be tragic, known right from wrong and choose to do wrong, but unbelievably horrible things, and are irredeemable. Stuff like that. They don't gotta be hateable villains, but they do gotta be bad to the bone. Pretty sure you can think of a couple of villains like that, a complete monster in TV tropes terminology, if you will, and a pure evil villain in villain wiki terminology. There's even been a recent pure evil wiki for these types of villains. Check all of these if you want examples and the exact criteria. Oh, I can already come up with 2 right now. Lucia Rare Groove is definitely a villain like that. I mean, the guy, his whole entire goal was to destroy the world that they lived in because it was a false reality that was created by his own grandmother, and he wanted to create a new reality that would be a new world of his own that he could rule. I mean, he was willing to just let everyone in the world die for what he wanted. And then, of course, how he goes in the end, he wasn't redeemable. I mean, oh, Lucy, I love to hate that character. He's so good, though, as a villain. And then Don Townsend from Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale or Zexel. He was a character that just wanted to watch the world burn. He wanted Earth, Baryon World, and Astral World to all just be destroyed. He didn't care. He wanted everything to go. I mean, he was an irredeemable character, and, he was the ultimate antagonist at the end of the series. I mean, he himself, was just one to watch the world burn. That was basically his whole character. It's pretty interesting, though. Favorite monster from anything? Now, that's a tough one, and it took me a while to think about this, but my favorite monster from anything actually has to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's a weird one. It's actually High Priestess of Prophecy. Now, when this deck came out back in 2012, until it got all but support, it was eh. But when the deck got all but support, this monster was insane. This was one of the strongest components of that deck. It was actually one of the best decks. It was tier 0 back in 2013 format. Oh man, it was so good. And the design of Priestess, considering that Priestess is literally a watered down Dark Arm Dragon, where once per turn you can just, remove a spellbook from either your hand or your graveyard and destroy a card your opponent controls. That's pretty insane. And then if you have 3 spellbooks in your hand that can be the same or different, you can special summon this monster. I mean, it's great. And also, good waifu bait right there. But yeah, great card. Love it. And I still have a whole set of the first editions of it, of the card. I'm not even kidding, from the original set. Love it. Favorite candy? Fifth Avenue Candy Bar, actually. It's a funny story about that was my grandfather, who is deceased now, but whenever I was a kid, him and I would share, Fifth Avenue candy bars. Him and I would we would eat them, and he would always get them, and we just spend time together, and that was like our snack. And I don't know, it's just my favorite candy bar to this very day. Nothing to me beats it. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. It's very good. Favorite superhero, favorite villain, and favorite anti-hero. For this question, it's a double deal, as in get to name 2, your favorite anti-hero from comics, in order to fit with the previous 2 questions, and then your favorite anti-hero just in general. Okay, so this is very interesting. So when it comes to my favorite superhero of all time is Batman. I've always liked Batman. He's always personally been my all-time favorite superhero. He originally started out as a detective, he went to fighting crime and everything. And I mean, Batman is just kind of an ordinary guy, and I guess in a sense you could say his superpower is money. With all the gadgets and tech vehicles that he has, whatnot. It's pretty awesome. And then when it came to villains, it was hard, but I definitely had to go with Thanos. And when I mean Thanos, I mean comics Thanos. I like him better than I do movie Thanos personally. Now I do like movie Thanos, don't get me wrong, but I think comics Thanos was much better. His whole plot was to basically just in the lives of others to get Death's attention. I mean, because he loved Lady Death. I kind of like that plot a lot more. It's kind of a darker side to Thanos, in my opinion, which is kind of hilarious. And then, of course, favorite anti-hero is Deadpool, which kind of fits into that because Deadpool, he interfered with Thanos and Lady Death because Lady Death fell in love with Deadpool, and Thanos hated that. Man, I love that whole fight between the two of them. It's so good. But yeah, Deadpool's always been my favorite anti-hero. Fourth wall breaks. I mean, he's just so good. But if we were to go like anti-hero of all time, it has to be Volley from High School DxD. I've always enjoyed his character, and I like how he's just basically on a quest for power. That's basically why he does what he does. He's that guy who wants to be the strongest, and he fights individuals that are even stronger than him, which I think is amazing. I love it. Volley is just a really cool character in my opinion, and I've just always liked him in High School DxD. So yeah, he's always been my favorite. If you want to count like excluding comics and everything. But yeah, good questions, man. Sexy Neo asks, Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh, I am a Friday the 13th fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Nightmare on Elm Street, but I don't know. In terms of like horror, I've always liked Friday the 13th more. Jason Voorhees, I think he's pretty awesome. I like Freddy Krueger, but I don't know. It's just there's something more in terms of fear to me about Jason than Freddy Krueger. I don't know why. I just feel that way. Sexy Neo asks, if you could fix the power scaling of Ruby, how would you do it? For one, I wouldn't be having Neo get punched in the face by a damn farm boy. I mean, that's for certain. But if I were to fix the power scaling, I'd have characters that are on, professional huntsman level, taking on characters very easily that are like Team Ruby, who are not even that experienced in comparison to people like Crow or Adam or Raven or Cinder or Neo. Like these characters should just mollywop Team Ruby. It doesn't matter. Like Team Ruby should not actually do very well against them, especially characters like Raven and Cinder who are maidens. For God's sake, that whole sword fight between Cinder and Jean should have been just completely torched. Like he should have just been melted. I mean, there's no other way to explain what should have happened to Jean as opposed to what actually happened. I mean, Cinder should have easily beat him, and he didn't even have a semblance at that time. I mean, that's how pathetic that was. You want to talk about a horrible nerf to a character. Cinder got shafted hard. But like they should have characters trained. That's one big thing to try to get up to that level. But even then, like a week's worth of training is not going to match up to like experienced huntsmen. So what they'd have to do is they'd have to train. Semblances would have to evolve. Which when was the last time they even had a semblance evolve? That's my next question. The last actual evolution of a semblance that I can even recall was in Volume 3 with Weiss's semblance. That's about it. I mean, thing is that if they were to do that, I think that would help characters improve too. But like they need to put characters at certain levels. Like they probably should have maybe made a system of like levels of strength so that the characters could be more balanced in terms of where they're at and how they could improve on the scale and go up. I mean, that could be one way of putting it, and then they could try to learn how to make the characters grow from there by actually making them train on screen. I don't mean this crap of like, 5 minutes on screen equals a week. I mean like actual showing it, showing the characters and the hardships they go through to train to get better. I mean, there's a lot of ways they could do to change it, but I think that a scaling system might actually be the first way to start and then go from there. I mean, in terms of scaling, like make a list of where this character is on the power scale. And then, if they're like, for example, like fifth down, like then they can train up to like fourth and third, second, first, like something like that to at least give you a clue where they're at on the scale before, and then after. I mean, at least the writers could do that. At least come up some basic way, and then they could make it more sophisticated. But that's just my thoughts on it. But yeah, good question, man. Captain Boomerang asks, "Do you love candy corn?" It's okay. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not like my favorite or anything. But it's okay. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? If it weren't for the plague, well, I didn't really have any plans to be anything, and that's basically because, like I said, I don't really get any trick-or-treaters where I live. So there wasn't really much of a plan. And like I said, I don't go out and party on Halloween because I really don't have anywhere to go to party for Halloween. So yeah, so really I didn't have a plan for anything in terms of that. 3. Boo! Did I scare you? Nice try. I mean, at least I'll give you that. But yeah, good questions, man. Nothing to ask. Should Palpatine have stood trial or get given the Count Dooku sentence? Love this meme, by the way. It's like Halloween Neo. I never get tired of it. uh, yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard to say. Because like he probably would have just tried to kill somebody. He probably should have been killed, I guess. I mean, he would have used his power probably to get out of it also. So I don't know. That's a tough one. But I love this. He must stand trial like Count Dooku. Just yeah, Dooku didn't get to stand trial. Oh, that's hilarious. But maybe not. Probably not. Probably would have been the best thing for him not to. Sexy Neo asks, who do you think is the most evil character in Hellsing? Probably the Major. I mean, he was pretty bad. I mean, like, making a whole entire vampire army to take out everyone. Yeah, probably the Major, considering what he did. So yeah, that's who I'd probably have to say is the most evil character in Hellsing, in my opinion. And then Arc Lord asks, which I hope I got your name right this time. I hope so. Which Neo suit is better, police officer or nurse? Choose wisely. Oh, I mean that officer Neo though. I mean she can put me in handcuffs. I mean, you know what I'm saying. And then Nurse Neo taking care of me while I'm bedridden. If I had to say, I probably would go Nurse Neo. That's just me, though. Probably Nurse Neo. But that's just my opinion. Johnny Q asks, do you think the monsters of Monster Hunter would destroy Ruby? Absolutely. Absolutely. Any specific monsters for certain kingdoms? The Timnocerans, I think, would be able to take on Mistral. And I think that basically flying wyverns would take down Beacon. Then again, we saw what happened with the wyvern grid. But yeah, that's pretty much the way I see it. Because I think that they would be destroying Remnant very, very easily. So Monster Hunter monsters, yeah, I think that they would easily destroy them because you look at the Grim are not even a threat. I mean, last time they really felt somewhat like a threat was Volume 3. Then after that, they just were fodder, and they've been nothing but fodder ever since. So Monster Hunter monsters, I think that they would just be able to destroy the world of Remnant with ease. It wouldn't be any form of an issue to them at all whatsoever. But yeah, good question, man. Heads of Boomerang asks, what do you think of my character Anastasia of a story I'm working on? Looks pretty hilarious if you had to ask me. I mean, the the what unicorn hoodie and everything, it looks hilarious. But yeah, very interesting for sure, man. A very interesting design. James95 asks, what would you do if you were in Arthur's place? Is it okay if you read the post? Yeah, I'll read the post. So if I was in his place, oh man, I would be all for it. I like this. So Rin goes, Saber seems different today. Seems more tall, handsome. Good morning, Saber Kun. Kun? Who are these girls? I mean, hey, I'd be into it. I wouldn't have a problem with that. What do you think of the comic? I mean, that's a pretty interesting image of Arthur and Artoria there, and then Mordred in the background. I love that. Mordred just looks absolutely shocked. That's pretty funny. And then this one. Don't know that King Arthur is so narcissistic like that red saber. I'm a little disappointed that the king didn't choose me. Poor my cute Betty. Looks like it is fun to have another you. I want to try. Shut up, you trash talker. So now it is legal for me to be with Lady Guinevere, huh? Hey, it is called self-cess, doesn't it? Oh. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean that, or it's just self pleasure. I mean, It's like the only other thought to that one. And then here's the next one. Now, Merlin, what do you think? I just thinking that it was useless to give Artoria Big D. I should give Arthur Miss V and Big B, and that's not it. Oh, oh, that's definitely interesting because of what happened, what he did to Artoria. Oh man. Good questions, man. Nothing asks, what kind of mythologies are you into? I have always enjoyed Greek and Norse mythologies. I thought they were very interesting. I've always liked the Japanese mythology as well. Um, those are the ones I say interest me the most. I really like Norse mythology with the story of Ragnarok. I mean, that's very interesting. And then also, I really like Japanese mythology as well with the story of Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu, Izanagi, Izanami, Orochi, and all that. Like, those mythologies, both Norse and Japanese mythology, I think they're very interesting, and Greek mythology is pretty cool too. I like those the most, I'd say. Anime AK 116 asks, say anime meme review and then review these. Anime meme review. uh, yeah. So taking a look at these. So the first one, Echidna, Subaru, can you make a contract with me? Subaru, your contract is in the back door. And there's a door out of range. I don't think I get it. I mean, I'm not sure that I get the reference here. I don't think I understand what this is supposed to be implying here. I don't really get it. So the next one, next time you attend the tea party, there's something I would like to tell you. Next time, we're going to have a little echidna. I don't think that's physically possible, and that's coming from a gourd that swam 92 nautical miles without arms or legs. Well, I mean, having a kid, that would be weird for a person to have a baby a kid. That would be very strange. I mean, that doesn't naturally happen. So then, of course, here's this one with Ruby. Oh boy. We're so excited for our latest King's Coast collab, the latest cash grab. Yeah, Rooster Teeth will try to have a cash grab, but that won't happen. Presenting the in-universe Mistral Mountains Huntress Blend, this 100% organic free trade coffee is made with beans sourced from Peru and Sumatra from an all-women-owned roastery. I don't think that's possible, and that's coming from a gourd that swam 92 nautical miles with no arms or legs. I mean, I don't think them getting a cash grab out of it is going to happen because there's no way people are going to buy it. People are not going to buy it. It's just not going to happen. Question. Have you heard of the Kandahar Giants in Afghanistan? No, I haven't. This is actually my first time hearing of that. So, no, this is actually completely new to me. That's actually very interesting, and I'll definitely look into it. Gundam Alex asks, you think they could have gone further than just hacking Penny? Maybe steal her blueprints and build their own androids? If she's capable of holding aura, what's to say she can't use it as a weapon to steal aura? Maybe they could even copy semblances. A whole army with the strongest semblances would be very dangerous. What do you think? So one thing I think that you speak of hacking Penny. So with the blueprints, they actually had her blueprints back in Volume 3. And what I thought they were going to do was I thought they were going to hack Penny then. But they didn't. Of course, it led to her dying. But that was actually what shocked me was her death, because I thought it was going to lead to her being hacked and used against the Atlas military as well as the people of Beacon and Vale. That's what I thought was going to happen, and they had to take down Penny to make the Atlas military look terrible. So I'm actually surprised that didn't happen. But considering that they probably could have just hacked Penny and kept her, I mean that would have been something. Now, if they made a weapon that could allow her to steal aura and semblances, now that would be something. Because she isn't able to steal aura that we know of, but then watch them retcon something and then it happens. Because you never know with these writers at this point. Anything's retconned at this point. Like, anything will be retconned at any even point. But yeah, I mean, that would be interesting had they done that. That would have been really cool, and the bots would have been very formidable. But yeah, good question, man. Execute Order 66 asks, who's the best Starship captain in Star Trek? And what's the best Enterprise model? Okay, now that's very interesting. So when it comes to Star Trek captains, my favorite one, well, let me put it like this. My second favorite captain is Kirk. I mean, I always liked Kirk, but he was not my favorite because, my favorite came in Generation, which is Picard. Picard is my favorite. He's just always good at taking the top spot for me. When it came to all of the captains in Star Trek, I don't know. He was always my favorite. I mean, I don't like what they've done with it with the new Picard series, but I don't count that as canon. So you know, but yeah, that new series is trash, and nobody should watch that. But when it comes to my favorite ships, on the other hand, um, now the NCC 1701 is my second favorite, but my first is the NCC 1701D from Star Trek: The Next Generation. I mean, the original one looks cool from the 1969 version, but I'd say that the NCC 1701D is my favorite version of the Enterprise in my personal opinion, but that's just me. So Nothing Nas asks, what is your worst fear? You know, I was asked this before. I don't really know. you know, it's hard for me to say, because I really don't fear anything. Like I can't really think of anything. Maybe death, I guess. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Anime AK 116 asks, what are your favorite things from the Clone Wars? Top 5. Mine, the Attack of Camino arc, Rip CT99, the only father figure that Whitley Schnee could have known, the Umbara arc, Maul's entire time on screen, the Mandalorian arcs, and lastly, the Siege of Mandalore arc. I mean, to me, I really like Darth Maul coming back. I did like, Savage Opress. I liked him as well. Um, I thought that was really, really cool. What I also did like about it was definitely Mandalore and the Mandalorians. Seeing Obi-Wan as well, like how he actually had someone he loved at one time. That was pretty crazy. Um, I mean, there was a lot that I liked about that. I thought Palpatine was still really good as a character. I liked his fight with Savage and Maul. I thought that was fantastic. Um, I also liked, Ahsoka as well. I thought that she was great. Her character was just really good overall, I think. Um, but there were some good things within it that I really liked, and I liked that the clones had personality. I liked that they had character because it made them feel like they were all people as well, not just clones for an army, but they actually had personalities. They had goals, dreams, things that they aspired for. Like I liked that they did that. Question: do you think that the Clone Wars did better when it comes to soldiers following orders than Ruby Volume 7? Like, especially when Order 66 happened compared to the Ace Ops situation. Yes, I think that the Clone Wars has way better writing than Ruby does. So, yes, I mean, at this point, you actually enjoyed the characters. But with Ruby, you don't gain that attachment. The writing's so bad that you don't gain that attachment and you just don't care. Clone Wars did it better because they developed these characters and they made you care. To where Ruby has just failed at that, and that's one thing that Ruby clearly doesn't understand. Johnny Q asks, "Do you think Fatalist of Monster Hunter would destroy Remnant and all life in Ruby?" Yes, an Elder Dragon that destroys parties within that game, Monster Hunter itself, with ease. Yes, Ruby is not going to be able to win against Fatalist. Fatalist would destroy everything in Remnant. Like nothing's going to stand a chance. Like that would be like a joke. Like Fatalist just like swoops in, barely has to do anything, and everybody's just practically dead. Yeah, Fatalist is gonna win. Like Fatalist beats Remnant and Ruby like easy. But yeah, good question, man. So Foster Yeager wanted to share a story. For the October Q&A, figured since it's spooky time, I'll share one of my experiences that is fitting for the occasion. This took place several years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but it was a little bit before the U.S. Army transitioned to multicam, and we were still using those awful digital ACUs. My unit was doing our annual training in the box at Fort Polk, Louisiana. Don't know why, since my unit is stationed there, but whatever. My experience happened when we were tasked with capturing or killing an op for a commander that was in a simulated town. We had intel he might be hiding out in the tunnels built under the town that are leftovers from when Fort Polk was used to train soldiers before they went off to fight in Vietnam. Anyway, since I was one of the shortest and skinniest guys in my platoon, you can guess who got to play Tunnel Rat. All that, yeah, that had to suck. My M4 rucksack, armor, and vest were passed off amongst my squad, and my platoon leader gave me his M9 and a flashlight. We weren't given 9mm blanks, so just simply saying bang bang is the only way to use the pistol. I was told it was basically a straight tunnel to a small room where we thought the bad guy might be, and a tunnel past the room that would exit somewhere in the town. The tunnel wasn't very large and was permanent because the walls and ceiling were cement, though the floor was still dirt. It rained recently, so the dirt was mostly mud, with a few puddles from when the tunnel probably flooded. The tunnel is small enough you have to crawl on your hands and knees, but at least you don't have to crawl on your belly. Yeah, that would be a lot worse. That would be rough if that were the case. Very rough. I was more concerned about spiders, scorpions, and snakes than the Op-4 because at least when they kill you, it's make believe. This is also a good time to mention I'm claustrophobic as fuck. Oh, and claustrophobic. Oh man, that's very bad. Yikes. Continued, I had been crawling for maybe 10 minutes when I felt a huge hand grab my right leg and drag me back about 15 or so feet. The pull was so sudden I dropped the pistol and flashlight, leaving me in the dark, though I could still see the flashlight where I dropped it. I felt pressure almost as if the tunnel collapsed on me because I could not move off of the ground. I then felt something like warm breath on the back of my neck. It was at that point I thought I was going to die, but as soon as I felt several of those breaths, the weight was lifted off me, and I crawled down the tunnel as fast as I could. The room the commander was supposed to be in was one, of course, completely empty. I barely noticed because I was only in that room for a second before crawling into the next tunnel leading into the town. When I left the tunnel, I was immediately killed by a G-Man, Geronimo, the name of the Op-4 at Fort Polk, but I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of the tunnel. I never told anyone about what happened in the tunnel, not even my wife. I didn't want people to think I'm crazy or anything like that, especially after other events that happened directly afterwards, but that's a story for another day. Oh man, uh, yeah, talk about a real scare. That would be that would be a real scare for anybody. Oh yeah, that would be pretty frightening. Well, hey man, thanks for sharing your story. I mean, it was very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Nothing to ask. In your opinion, what's the scariest Joker incarnation? For me, some would be Arkham Joker, Jeremiah Valeska, Killing Joke Joker, and I guess I can throw in Heath Ledger Joker too, though I guess Phantom Thief Joker is kind of spooky. Yeah, I think that Arkham Knight Joker was actually a pretty scary Joker. I definitely have to agree to that. Um, Now, I did like Heath Ledger. I felt like he was kind of like an ominous Joker. I really liked him. So I think that he was really good in terms of being the Joker. And then, of course, Killing Joke Joker is always really good too. Um, but yeah, I would probably sit at maybe Heath Ledger being the scariest Joker possibly, because like while he had that good kind of comedic role to him, he also had that serious role as well that showed that he wasn't joking, that he wasn't like this guy that's just kind of making jokes like sarcastically, but he's also being very serious. So there's also that. But yeah, good question, man. Arklord asked, I said I would send memes for you to review, and here are the memes. And remember, if you get too horny, Nora will not have mercy. Be careful, because Nora's coming for you for No Nut November. Wait, your gun is just a gun? That's lame. This is not just a gun. This here is a Halo 1 pistol, bitch. Well, yeah, I mean, like, after how many times they pretty much stole designs from things, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's, yeah, probably. Wouldn't be surprised. And then, of course, Death knocking at the door of Jacques after, like, the other characters that have died in Ruby. Oh, now if only they would, like, knock at the door of main characters like, I don't know, Jean. That's just an example. Or Blake and Yang. Yeah, that'd be another great example. Although that's probably not going to ever happen for Blake and Yang, but that would be another good one. Either you make me a grandchild, or I make you a sibling. Oh, at this point, she's gonna be the one to go after her son. That'd be pretty hilarious. Upgrade. Go back. Yeah. Oh, ain't that the truth? Oh, that is so true. Oh man, they should have just kill off his character. He should just be dead, in my opinion. Did we get cool outfits? Yes. What did it cost? My hair. I don't know about them getting cool outfits. But yeah, I mean, Jean's hair did go, so it did come at a cost. So there's that. I've seen you naked. Eh? And that would be like old Yang there. That would be like old humor Yang. I could see like the old Yang doing that because that's when she had personality and she was kind of, comical at that time. Now she's just bland and nothing. But yeah, no, I could see Yang making a joke like that or something. Ironwood located. Starting video conference. No, 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 no. I'm not ready yet. Where's the smoke boat? Smoke boat. Oh, I get it because whenever she pops up. Okay, yeah, volume 7. Yeah, I get it. I still don't feel that she's intimidating. You can't convince me that Salem's intimidating because she's not. Like to me, she's like the worst villain in the show. I drink milk. Your argument's invalid. I feel like Ruby would say that. I feel like the old Ruby would joke like that because like that's old Ruby humor for you. Like I could see her doing that. I mean, just walks in on something she doesn't like. I drink milk. Your argument's invalid. Like I could see Ruby doing that. Oh God! And then this one, Professor Ozpin poked you. Oh boy, freaking Ozpin, man. I I cannot stand his character. Oh, I really can't. Like every single time I look at Ozpin now, I just think about Shannon McCormick, and I hate that man after what he did. So yeah. Oh God. And then here's the Ruby manga, Ruby anime, and then Netflix adaptation. Is Netflix adaptation supposed to be real? Because that seems more like real life than it does anything else. That's oh boy. I mean, seriously, like, what in the world? If Team Ruby had personalized beds, Ruby, nice and simple, with a little bit of a mess. Weiss, fit for a princess, yeah, because Weiss, of course, has to be perfect. And then you have Yang, which is an utter mess, left as it is in mornings. Yeah, that sounds like Yang. And then Blake, which is a cat box, like a cardboard box, like for cats. Oh, too bad Blake and Yang can't be in the trash bin. So this one's supposed to be everybody's playing Uno. Smirk, are you serious? Huh, I like where this is going. And then, of course, next you have Tyrion. I got your back, Tyrion. Now, discount version of Briar's for skipping me. Oh boy. Okay. So that he reveals the next card, which is draw 2, you cock-wielding serpent at Uno. And then, of course, you have deal with the expression. And then you have Yang over here. Well, this is my turn. I'm changing the color to yellow. Yeah, of course you would. The one color that she no longer has anymore, basically. The one that she was based off of. Shit. This one color I don't have. Takes a card. Oh yeah, just got this saving grace to fuck you raw from that Uno. But I was so close. My next card was a wild card. You bitch. That's the thing. Uno is the game that when you play with your friends, that is a game that will make you ruin friendships. Like that game is a game that will make you ruin friendships. Oh, and then it shows a Penny robot, and then she just presses that she's not a robot. Yeah. Well, Penny, you're a robot. just saying, Penny's a robot. And then Nora, for your safety, keep this door closed. I mean, hey, Nora's pretty crazy. There's a lot of things that she would probably do. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised to keep her behind locked doors. Because you never know what she's going to do. Then she might rip the door off because she's that strong. Well, she used to be. I mean, I don't know when you'd say that anymore. But, yeah, that'd be terrifying. Oh, and then here's with Adam right here. Obtain bombs. Take over the White Fang. Have your trained army beaten by civilians with sticks. And he just looks at it like, what? Like, yeah. See, that's the thing that doesn't make any sense. The White Fang, which was a terrorist organization, they had weapons. And yet they lose to people with sticks. Like, what? How does this work? Like, Adam should have been able to win at Mistral. Like, should have. He should have won. Well, I guess you lost a few brain cells along with that arm. Jesus Christ, Taeyang! That's not what I meant by maybe a dad joke will cheer her up. Oh. Well, Taeyang might actually be right. If you look at how dumb Yang's been in, the most recent volumes. Yeah, no, I could see that. And then the next one. Today, we'll be touching on a number of crucial subjects, such as capitalism, the gods, way of determining who is right and who is poor, crying, acceptable only during funerals and the end of Volume 3, and finally ships. There are only 3 acceptable ships, Arcos, Renora, and Rose Garden. Ugh. I mean, I'm not a fan of Rose Garden, but that's just me. Ha! Slow down. I'm not gonna let you pass. Oh, you have your pants unzipped. Wait a moment. Ha ha! You're too slow. Well, oh, I get it because that's mostly like a Sonic joke. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. Back in the present, we're entering the final stage of our plans, but be careful. Our enemy is not to be underestimated. Elsewhere, Crow, pants, back on, now! That's pretty good. Oh, man, I miss old Crow. Oh, I really do. Really miss his character. Too bad he's gone now. Too bad the show, kind of went to shit. you know, oh man. If we lie down here and play dead, the robots won't see us. Really? Really? Hey, it was worth a shot. I mean, they don't know how the military works. That's what they've proven in Ruby, is that Rooster Teeth has no idea how the military works at all. But yeah, interesting memes for sure. Thanks for sending them. Gundam Alex asks, October Q&A. If you had to design your own Gundam, what kind of weapons and armor would you add? Any colors or logos? So if I had to go with a Gundam in terms of armor, I would definitely go with the Gundam of GF13017NJ Shining Gundam. That is my all-time favorite Gundam. In terms of weapons, I would definitely have the W009 Giant Heat Sword. That thing is badass. I do love that blade. And then in terms of like a rifle, I would probably say the RX-178 Gundam Mark II Titan. I think those guns look absolutely amazing. I'd probably have the Xeon logo because I always like Xeon. I was always a fan of the side of Xeon personally, but it's just me. But yeah, man, great question. But anyway, so that's going to wrap up the Q&A for this month. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section down below. Be sure to add them for next month. Like I said, if there are any I may have forgotten, then please let me know, and I'll post them in next month's Q&A. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all had fun with this, and I appreciate all the questions. I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.